definitely very difficult to say which style my music belongs to. I think, well, I'm also very young, so I think it might change a lot in the future as well. There are quite a few works that I've done in the recent years, which includes mixed media, and also experimental music practices has been very, very interesting to me, and I've written several pieces which one could describe as experimental. I've graduated from choral singing school as well, so that has influenced me a lot. And I love choral music, and I want to compose many choral music pieces in the future as well. However, what I'm really looking for is something unique and new within choral music tradition. So yeah, I think that's definitely one of my main fields of work. So I've composed a piece called Waters in 2018. It was composed for choral singing school choir Liepaitės, which is one of the leading choirs in Lithuania, at least in equal voices field. I was inspired by water. I always loved water. When I was a child, I spent so much time in water, in a lake, swimming and playing, and even fishing. And also water is something very female at the same time, so I just felt this, it came very naturally to me, this idea to write a piece about water. And I didn't want to write the text myself. I didn't want to ask someone to write it for me. Since I traveled quite a bit, I have friends and people that I know from in many, many countries. So I talked to them and I asked them if they could tell me several proverbs about water. And I collected like hundreds of proverbs, and with translations and pronunciations, audio recordings, and then I listened to them and I picked the ones that sounded the most in the most interesting way, and also the ones that I felt that they have this musical imaginary potential in it. Then I translated these word images into musical images, textures and sound clouds, perhaps. Yeah. I really like blending this experimental music field with choral music and new forms, and I feel that this might be something new, at least in Lithuania. But yeah, I haven't come across of many pieces or works that would explore voice in such form. So space is definitely very important for me, and in many of my pieces, space is one of my compositional tools that I use. So one of the compositional elements which would be equal to the pitch material or dynamics or rhythm. Well, it's obvious that space is always present in every concert situation or listening situation. And why not to use it for compositional practice? I started thinking about space because since 2014, me and my colleague, we started this site-specific music platform where we started exploring and talking about different places and spaces and composing music for different places. And since then, I have been thinking about it, and yeah, it comes to my music. So I do also create festivals and new music events, and also a vocal ensemble which performs new music. And I do think that it comes to my music sometimes. I also like working with musicians, improvisers, and I like devising music together with them. So, and sometimes when I work in such environment, I find myself not really a composer, but rather musical director or a music curator, where I curate processes and bring together different musicians and lead them through ideas, but not, I wouldn't call myself composer in that specific situation. But I still do actively participate in the process of musical creation, and I do lead it.